Folks, welcome to Movie News Monday, where every single Monday live on Twitch, we talk about everything that's going on in the world of movies, news, TV, entertainment, DCU, MCU, all the U's. There's a lot going on right now. Thankfully, it's a relatively slow news week because the Superman movie just came out. So why don't we just go ahead and jump into it? We have our first official look at Dominic McLaughlin as Harry Potter. And here he is. He looks like an 11-year-old Harry Potter. Awesome. It's really hard to have a lot to say about these first look images because it really just is a photo. This is super cute. It's a picture of him holding up the slate for the very first shot. So they are up. They are filming. It's happening. I have a lot of conflicted feelings about this series even existing, to be completely honest with you. On top of the fact that everything else that's surrounding Harry Potter and how complicated that's become over the years, I just don't know that we need this. I think the movies are just so excellently executed. They are a perfect time capsule. It is still family tradition to watch. For some reason, Harry Potter became Christmas movies around here, so we still watch all the Harry Potter movies in Christmas time. It seems strange to me that we're doing this, but here is little Dominic locking in for the next 10 years of his life, playing Harry Potter. And all in all, this is a child. There are a lot of children who are playing in this show, and for the next 7-8 years, they will still be children. So let's be respectful. Let's respect their privacy. Let's respect the fact that this is an incredible opportunity for them. To be playing Harry Potter is a life-changing experience. Daniel Radcliffe is a generational talent coming off of the Harry Potter franchise, and that's, not something that would have happened without that. So hopefully this is the first of many incredible things to happen to Dominic and his family. And we're going to see, it's going to be the first 10 years of his life for sure. But, I would imagine it was a pretty good deal. And hopefully, I believe that the Harry Potter movies, did renegotiate their contracts with a lot of the lead actors kind of halfway through the movies. Hopefully there's some room for negotiation for a lot of this lead cast, especially with it being a direct to streaming show. What do those royalties look like? What does that, they're basically selling their face for toys and Legos and all this other stuff. Legos might be the one bad example. So I don't know. I think I'm remaining very cautiously optimistic. Maybe I'm cautiously pessimistic. All in all, I'm just conflicted. So we will see. Hopefully we get to see some more. Expect maybe a trailer by the end of the year. I'm going to call trailer at Christmas time. Trailer at Christmas time is my guess. Our next story, kind of out of nowhere, Legendary Pictures is looking to acquire Lionsgate Studios. This feels weird to me. This feels like studios are, trying their best to stay alive right now by consolidating. This is very interesting to me for a particular set of reasons. I think Warner Brothers and Discovery let me back up a little. We are living in the aftermath of two very massive studio mergers that have gone in opposite ends of things. We have the Disney and 20th Century merger acquisition, which ultimately went really well for most parties involved. Disney got an incredible deal because they got, on top of all of the Marvel characters reunited and more return for that IP, they also got what ultimately led to their full acquisition of Hulu, which happened very recently. They ended up buying out what was left of the Hulu stock because 20th Century owned a fair bit. 20th Century and Searchlight Studios are still operating with even more of a kick behind it, and now everything goes basically direct to Hulu, so they have streaming security while still having theatrical distribution. And the Fox split with Fox Media, Fox News, and Fox Sports and everything like that. Ultimately, it's been working out pretty well for them, having to divest from what used to be 20th Century Fox, because Disney owned competing things like ABC News and ESPN. Those particular properties were split off, and they've been doing pretty well for themselves. So Disney 20th Century, A+, good merger, go business. On the other side of things, the other side of the coin here is poor Warner Brothers, man. Warner Brothers, one of the oldest studios in existence, is just going through horrible merger and horrible acquisition back to back to back to back. There was the Time Warner deal, there was the AT&T deal, and now there's most recently the Discovery acquisition, which as of a couple weeks ago, Discovery will now be splitting the studio up. They are going to be splitting their streaming and their television arm, and splitting Warner Television up a little bit more. So they merged only to realize that they are still in debt and still cannot afford to operate at the level that they need to. So that being said, I understand that Legendary and Lionsgate do have a smaller horse in this race. They don't have a lot of established IP. They don't have the indie scene market. They don't really have like a brand in it to themselves. So maybe there's a benefit to them being just the middle tier studios, so that you have, your Neons and your A24s and your Disneys and Warner Brothers over here, and Legendary and Lionsgate could just, be LL Studios sitting pretty in the middle. We will see. I'm hoping that they don't do this, because less studios means less opportunities for folks, but also I would prefer that studios stay in business. So I'm gonna say maybe don't do it, but if you do, I get it. That would mean we could get a Dune Hunger Games crossover, and basically have a YA books battle royale with like Hunger Games and Divergent and the Twilight movies, and then Godzilla shows up. Why not? We have the means. All right, folks, now we're going to get into everyone's favorite, the Marvel news portion of the broadcast, starting with the boy Tom Holland himself. Tom Holland has given an update on Spider-Man Brand New Day, particularly how they're going to be filming Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I'll just let the man speak for himself here.
So excited. Playing Spider-Man is like hanging out with an old pal, and I think we were really restricted with what we could do in the last movie because of COVID. We shot the entire film on stages. Now we're really going to lean into that old school filmmaking and shoot in real locations, which is why we're starting in Glasgow, and we're going to use the streets of Glasgow for this massive set piece that we're putting together. So it's going to feel like making Spider-Man 1 again. It's been such a long time since I've done it. It's going to feel like a breath of fresh air, and I think the fans are going to be over the moon with what we're putting together.
Amazing.
Amazing indeed. This actually is really great news. I know a lot of folks had some complaints regarding Spider-Man No Way Home and the look and the feel of that film, but it is easy to forget that production took place during COVID. There's a particular scene. Let me pull it up actually. No Way Home, Flash Thompson. There's a scene in the movie where Flash Thompson is walking down the street. This is it. And I remember so many people clowned on this scene because they're like, why is this green screen? Why could they not just be in New York? Which, let's be honest, it's not the best green screen job. Like, it really isn't. But this was during COVID. No Way Home was filmed during COVID, so it was really impossible for them to be able to actually film out in public. And so the update that Tom Holland is giving here for Brand New Day, his Spider-Man 4, is, hey, we're going outside. we're going in public. We're going to be filming for real. It is a little disappointing to know that this movie is going to be filming in London primarily, or in the UK. I imagine that they will bring some stuff back to New York, but I do think that there is just some incredible, I don't know, there's some incredible stuff that can happen from actually filming on location in New York. I really think you feel the effects of it in films like the Amazing Spider-Man franchise with Andrew Garfield, or even like Daredevil Born Again actually being on the streets of New York. Tom Holland mentions here that it's going to feel a lot like his first Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Homecoming, which filmed primarily in Atlanta. So I guess you don't have to be in New York. But that being said, it's cool that they're bringing it back down to basics. I trust Destin Daniel Cretton and, you know, everything that he did with Shang-Chi and some of the other films that he's worked on. I'm really excited for Spider-Man. That being said, we also have a rumor to discuss regarding Spider-Man, which is apparently Norman Osborn is being planned to be introduced. So does this mean Norman and Harry Osborn? I think Harry Osborn would be an incredible addition to this stage of Peter Parker's life, but what does it mean, him knowing who Norman Osborn is from another dimension? I don't know. I get too lost in thinking about like the logistics of like how it works in canon. But yes, love if true. I think mostly I'm excited for a Harry Osborn, and I'd love to see that relationship done right. I don't love the way that Harry and Peter's relationship is portrayed in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, and Amazing Spider-Man 2 did not do a good job of establishing Harry Osborn, so I would love to see that executed as well as it is in the comics. Also, if we're going to have a Norman Osborn in the MCU, I would absolutely love if it was Coleman Domingo who voices Norman Osborn in the animated Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And he has done interviews saying that he would like to play a live-action version of Norman Osborn. So, hey Sony, hey Marvel, here is an Oscar-nominated actor who is already working with you and has publicly admitted to wanting to portray this character. So let's do it. Let's do it. Coleman Domingo would be incredible as Norman Osborn. I also really hope they don't drop the ball on that. Look, they haven't let me down yet. I still stand by, and I think I am in the minority, I am a supporter of Spider-Man Far From Home. And so Marvel Studios and Sony's partnership has not disappointed me yet with Spider-Man movies. And Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is an incredible TV show. So I'm going to say very optimistic on this one. Speaking of incredible TV shows, I have some terrible news for fans of The Pitt. Tracy Ifeachor will not be returning for season 2. Is it really going to make me go to Instagram for this? This is heartbreaking. This is really sad. She was She was such an incredible character with a really, really, really powerful and engaging and incredible story arc. But unfortunately, she will not be returning. Now, fans of the show, and light spoiler warnings, if you haven't watched The Pitt yet, stop what you're doing, go watch 15 hours of television, and then come right back. So very light spoiler warning. Her character does disappear late into the season, and it is actually because of scheduling conflicts. She was not available to be in the back half of the show. So from the get-go, even from season 1, there has been difficulties with getting her on the show. So spoilers over, you're back, you're clear. So there is precedent for her not being available whether it be, you know, whatever reason it can be. We can only speculate, but there has already been instances where she was not able to take part in the show, and it seems as though she is just straight up not returning for season 2. This is really disappointing. I would have loved to see what they had planned for Dr. Collins and Robbie, and where her story went with her pregnancy and everything surrounding that. But unfortunately, we'll never know. Well, if you're bummed out about one medical show, we'll see how you feel about this one. Scrubs is officially returning. I guess the T-Mobile commercials weren't paying enough. Zach Braff, Donald Faison, and Sarah Chalk are all coming back along with more original cast members for a Scrubs reboot. This is so interesting to me and such a telling story for like the current state of television. The lead cast of this show left the show in its prime. The final season of Scrubs doesn't have Zach Braff in it, right? The final season of Scrubs tried to turn it into a legacy show, but now instead they go, actually, no, we did like this bag. We will come back. We will be doing the work. This is so bizarre. And like, I love a comedy sitcom. Scrubs is a great sitcom, and the chemistry that this cast has is unbeatable. But yeah, shows like this, shows like Dexter, there's another Big Bang Theory spinoff that's happening. There's so many different revivals going on. What's happening? What's happening over in television? Look, I really do wonder what this means for T-Mobile commercials. What will their new gimmick be? Or will T-Mobile commercials become canon in Scrubs history? I swear to God, if they make jokes, if T-Mobile's like involved in this production and like it's like a whole thing, I don't know what's going on. I think that TV networks are panicking on how to get people to actually tune into network television as opposed to streaming, but I believe that they're getting the wrong lessons. I don't know. Maybe folks are, now that we have the SAG-AFTRA strike resolved and we have new contracts, folks are coming back and being like, hey, let's get this money, right? Like maybe it's something else altogether. I have no idea, but this is just bizarre to me. But we will see. We'll keep an eye on this production and see how promising it actually is. Speaking of years later sequels, Practical Magic 2. I did not know that this was happening, but I know that the girlies and the witches are very excited that Practical Magic is coming back. I only just saw Practical Magic for the first time a couple of years ago. It's a very cute movie. It's a very sweet movie. We don't have Frozen without Practical Magic. I'll say that. The sisterly love and all that kind of stuff. We do have the main cast returning, Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, with a lot of new faces joining in. I'm excited to see Solo Maridueña joining, our Blue Beetle, as well as Maisie Williams, who we haven't seen in a little while, but Maisie Williams screams witch movie to me. And yes, all of the OG witches are returning, which is great. This is just nice. I think, I talk a lot about recently how we need more comedies and low budget comedies and low stake comedies going back to theaters. I'm hoping Practical Magic 2 is going to theaters. I would imagine with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman leading that this is a theatrical release. Yeah, let's get this type of like feel good sisterly love type movies in theaters as well. So remaining optimistic for this one as well. But it is a 20 years later sequel, so you will see. And our last stories of the day, the SAG-AFTRA union has had its fair share of work going on recently, and Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings or Stranger Things, if you're a Zoomer, is running for SAG-AFTRA president. This is important because this is the person who's going to be going up against studios and facing off and trying to get the best deal possible for all of the members. There has been a lot of love and a lot of support for Fran Drescher, who is the current president of SAG-AFTRA, but some people believe that she didn't do enough to protect actors against AI. It'll be interesting to see how Sean Astin pairs up against that and who his competition is, but he has been a working actor for many, many, many years, a lot of recognizable roles, as well as really just, seeing the various stages of the entertainment industry, from old Hollywood movies, new Hollywood movies. I know Sean Astin has also worked in like the online space and new media space, and he's done web series and stuff like that too. So he could be a very good representative for folks, and hopefully gets ready for a very big deal that we'll have coming up, because the SAG-AFTRA strikes ended with a contract that only had a couple years on it. So we may be facing some pretty challenging negotiations in the world of the Actors Union coming up soon. So whoever takes the lead next is gotta really be ready for it. But folks, thank you so much for stopping by. That was our movie news for the week. Like I said, we do Movie News Monday every Monday live on Twitch, usually at 8:30 p.m. We're a little early today. It's bizarre seeing daylight behind me. If you ever want to know when Movie News Monday is happening live, head on over to Twitch and follow me there. If you don't make it in time, that's okay. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe. Movie News Monday gets posted there, along with reviews, breakdowns, and other highlights. I appreciate y'all stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you at the movies.